But we can mentally check things out, you know. If I didn't have my loved ones, if I didn't have this comfortable house, if I didn't have this, would I be okay? To find refuge in our relationship with the divine, so that we can say that in any case, in any situation, since I have this relationship, I will be okay. Even if I lose my family, I lose my money, I lose my job, I lose my house, since I have this relationship, I will be okay. I will survive. I will recreate my life. My life will not end. So detachment, or transforming attachments to preferences, is a very important part of being ready to leave the physical body. Attachments are a great obstruction. And I would say that this is the real death. Real dying is dying to the personality. Dying of the body is only a temporary thing. It doesn't liberate us from anything. The mind continues to exist with all of its attachments, and those attachments are deposited in the causal body, and we have them in the next life. Real death, which brings real liberation, is the death of the mind, the death of attachment, the death of the personality, which is attached to things. You see, this is what really brings us freedom. Dying, simply dying physically, doesn't give me any freedom. My mind will be there. I'll bring it into the next life. I'll still have the same fears, the same attachments. Another aspect of preparing for death, which may be a little more difficult, is that if we learn to function consciously in our dreams, then we will have already become aware of how to function and how to manipulate reality when we leave the physical body. So if one wants to practice, first of all, remembering dreams, then secondly, becoming conscious in the dream. Carlos Castaneda gives a technique for that. Just remember your left hand, your right arm. You program yourself to remember something in the dream. So when you remember that, you become conscious, I am in this dream, and I am dreaming. It's called lucid dreaming. And then the third step would be, now that I am conscious in this dream, I am going to direct it in the way I want. And I'm going to have consciously direct the outcome of this dream. Of course, that's pretty difficult. First of all, we have to become able to remember them, then to become conscious in them, and then to be able to direct them in the ways that we would like. So, in conclusion, what can we do to be ready at any moment? Now, there are some times when I am called to speak with somebody who is about to leave their physical body. What I tell them is that we don't know. You could live another 20 or 30 years. I could die before you. I could walk out of here today. You're seriously ill, I'm not. I could get hit by a car. And you could be here for another 20 or 30. You never know what's going to happen. But the reality is that you're going to leave. Whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in 20 years, whether it's in 50 years, you're going to leave. You're going to make this journey. It's silly not to investigate it. It's like, going to a new country without buying a map, without reading a little bit about what you're going to do, and without even packing anything. So there are ways to prepare, ways to be ready. First of all, find out what is my life purpose and direct my energies towards that. And that may evolve and change. Obviously, someone who has children, their life purpose is to bring up those children. When the children grow up, if they try to keep that life purpose, it becomes an obstacle to them and to the children. They have to let go and do something else with their lives. Secondly, to put our relationships into harmony. To say what we haven't said, to ask forgiveness, to give forgiveness, and of course from there on to keep. It's not just a one-time thing, it's a daily process of keeping the relationship in a harmonious state. Whenever we feel things are building up, then getting them out, working on them. Being clear and honest, and as loving as possible. Then is the aligning our lives with our conscience, so that we're living our lives in the way that we believe we should. Then there is learning to meditate, to extract the mind from its various beliefs and concerns about the physical life. Then the transformation of our belief system, transforming our beliefs from a body-centered belief system to a soul-centered belief system. Learning to relax the mind and to detach ourselves from the physical body through meditation, relaxation, these kinds of techniques. And detaching ourselves from the various attachments and desires that we have gradually. And if possible, learning to manipulate our dream reality so that we are ready and capable of functioning on another level. Parallel to all of this is, I would say, the development of a relationship with God, with the divine, which is the only factor, the only being with which we can communicate on all levels. So by developing that relationship, we have this frame of reference when we leave the physical body, and we focus on God at that time, and that will help us to overcome, to sidestep all these other processes and come into unity with the divine, which is the purpose of our lives. So without having death in your mind, or without creating a sense of, oh well, I'm going to die, so it's useless to do anything with my life. Using death as a motivating factor, that because I am going to die, I want to use my life, every drop of it, every moment of it, intensely, and in a way in which I can say, yes, I can die today. I'm not afraid. And then I think we will really be alive, because we won't have this fear anymore. We won't have to make, as I said in the first class, these compromises with life, as Socrates was unwilling to make any compromises. I'm not afraid of death. I'm going to live my life as I believe it. I think it's a very liberating factor. Any questions about